Oh, that was easy.
Do you believe in miracles? Thousands of golfers all around the world are already believers.
I believe in miracles.
Get ready to experience the fastest growing movement in golf. Brought to you by golf sensation, Cristo Garcia, the man who swung as Ben Hogan on the golf train.
The top 10 winners in the history of the PGA Tour are all over-the-top swingers.
You just found something, in my opinion, that was just hidden right underneath our noses.
Today, golfers all around the world are finally discovering the truth about the golf swing.
There we go. How does that feel?
Oh, thank you.
It just looks so easy.
Shot a 69.
Wow.
It's clicked in. So this whole inside over the top deal is just makes it so much easier.
The 7 Sacred Steps of the Over-the-Top Miracle Swing is a course specifically designed to end the swing confusion that modern golf instruction has created. Now's your chance to join the fastest growing movement in golf. Get ready to believe in miracles by saving over 50% off the retail price with our pre-sale at miracleswingexperience.com. You'll believe in miracles too.
All right, guys, that's pretty cool, right? So that is our hero product. It is a 7-video series called the Over the Top Miracle Swing, and it's broken down into 7 digestible steps in order to learn the Over the Top Miracle Swing. So this is really a watershed moment where the past of teaching golf instruction has met the current world where we have science and a lot of technology to help us. But unfortunately, there was a split in the world of golf instruction where folks went down one path and they left behind the original champion's golf swing. And that's what we're bringing back to the world. So, Gabe, are you capable to share the second slide? Okay, so I'm going to go into this now. All right, so the Miracle Swing is a great opportunity because golf is the largest growing sport in America. Right now, there's 25 million golfers in America. So if we could go to the next slide, please. In 2022, the golf industry surpassed $100 billion. It's growing every single year. And the total economic impact is well over $200 billion. So golf is growing at an exponential rate. It's really wonderful for all of us, but it still doesn't change the problem that folks have trouble playing the game of golf. Golf is super duper challenging, and we'd like to make it a little bit easier. So there's 66 million golfers playing golf around the world, and golf instruction itself is a $1 billion industry. So now what I want to talk about is a friend of ours. Gabe and I both are friends with George Gankas. I'm going to tell you my version of the George Gankas story before Gabe steps in to tell you about his story of George Gankas. But the reason why I think George is a great example, he lives down the road. I've taken lessons with him. Unfortunately, it hurt my back because George teaches a swing that's really, really geared towards younger players. He's got a lot of great people playing for him, you know, but it's really, really a very challenging physical thing to do the swing the way George does. But George, you know, a friend of ours told me that he made $4.2 million last year in online instruction. He has over 8,000 members to his site, and he's doing an absolutely outstanding job. So his company is worth tens of millions of dollars right now. And when Gabe first discovered him, Gabe, my partner, nobody knew who he was. So if we could go to the next slide, please. Now, George has a lot of strengths. He's a wonderful golf teacher. I think he's very captivating. I love to listen to him talk about the swing. but he really doesn't have a very robust social media presence. He put out 12 YouTube videos last year that have a total of 1.8 million views. So that's nothing to sneeze at. 1.8 million views is pretty darn good. Now, if we want to talk about really big golf instruction, we really need to talk about Performance Golf Zone. And another friend of mine, his name is Brixton Albert. He asked me to be an ambassador for Performance Golf. Now, in this article from Inc. magazine, you can see that in 2020, Performance Golf made $12 million in revenue. In 2021, Performance Golf made $29 million in revenue. Now, one of my partners that I just filmed all the new Squares commercials with, he works for Performance Golf Zone and told me Performance Golf is closing in on $100 million a year. That's how big this space is. There is a lot of room. And to be honest with you, I think we can take them on. So next slide, please. So when we look at the strengths of Performance Golf, their strength is great marketing. They have great ads, copy, sales pages, email sequences. They have a list of millions of golfers that they're engaging every day with emails, and they're leveraging some of the biggest names in golf like Nick Faldo, David Ledbetter, Rocco Media, and Hank Haney. Hank just emailed me right before I got on this call. So it's so crazy that, I'm in touch with a lot of these people. Of course, Nick Faldo's voicing the Squares videos right now, the commercials I just made. And David Ledbetter was my first golf instructor, believe it or not. That's so wild. So let's go to the next slide, please. Now, if we look at Performance Golf Zone, they have a pretty solid YouTube channel. They have 17 million views, and they have quite a lot of influencers that they bring onto their channel. And they pay these folks to come on the channel. So 17 million views is pretty darn good, okay? But the thing that's interesting is all of the money that they make doesn't really come from their social media. It comes from buying paid traffic. That's the name of the game when you talk about scaling a business. So if we could go to the next slide, please. We're going to take a look at the Miracle Swing. So I've been on YouTube for quite a while. You'll notice that that's a little bit old. I have over 29 million views at this point, and I have 90,000 subscribers across all of my social media. I've sold $700,000 in online instruction. So that is no cost of goods. It's just click and buy, and that money goes straight into the bank. I've also sold over $2 million worth of golf clubs. Now, the thing that's remarkable that I want everybody to keep in mind at this moment is that's a lot of money, and I haven't spent anything on ads. It's all organic traffic, okay? That's why I created the over-the-top Miracle Swing. Let's go back one slide to the over-the-top Miracle Swing, please. So this digital product is what we call the hero product. It's the tent pole that holds up my new entertainment media business. This is the product that is going to change the lives of millions of golfers all around the world. Now, if we go to the next slide, you're going to see that in the video I showed you, these are the top 10 players, winners in the history of the PGA Tour. Number 10 is Tom Watson. Number 9 is Phil Mickelson. We've got guys, we have Billy Casper, Byron Nelson, Arnold Palmer, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Sam Snead. They're all inside over-the-top swingers. Now, in the 45 years I've been playing golf, I've seen a lot of golf instruction fads. They come and go, just like single plane, stack and tilt, and the A-swing. But the over-the-top Miracle Swing has stood the test of time. And right now, we've got Scotty Scheffler, Matt Fitzpatrick, Victor Hovland, Abraham Ancer. All these golfers are going over the top. In fact, Camilo Villegas has just changed his swing and won for the first time in nearly a decade on the PGA Tour with his over the top swing. You can see him on Instagram talking about going over the top. So if we go to the next slide, now we're going to see how we stand out. Now, if we want to have a successful online business, we have to have a message that cuts through everybody else. Now, if you hear the term over the top, 99% of golf instructors will tell you it's the wrong way to swing a golf club. That gives us a tremendous amount of marketing leverage to say no. Over the top is the most effective way to swing a golf club. Now, the other thing that's extremely important about the way we named this brand is over the top is an evergreen search term for golfers. They're going to be searching over the top from now until the end of time, because people struggle with an over the top move because they want to do it because their body instinctively tells them that's the best way to leverage the club. But if you don't have a couple things in place, you're not going to be successful and you're going to hit that big old slice. But if you look at Arnold Palmer, Sam Snead, these wonderful golfers, they took the club back so far to the inside, they could leverage the club over the top and still hit the ball from the inside. So this gives us a distinctive marketing angle that nobody else has. We have owned the term over the top for the last 2 years on the web and social media. So the next slide, please. There's one superpower that I have that no other golf instructor in the world has. I am a TV and film producer. I've produced over 100 television series and multiple feature films that have been in as many as 2,700 theaters opening nationwide. My shows have won an Emmy Award, I've won a Peabody, and I've even won a Best Director Award at an international film festival. Our current portfolio has several shows, a half a dozen episodes of Mr. Hogan, my feature documentary, Mr. Hogan, that was licensed by the Golf Channel. And I'm going to be making a ton of new golf shows like Miracle Makeover. And I want to get a team of OTT golfers just like Good Good Golf has. Good Good Golf made $36 million last year. So I think there's no reason why we can't take a chunk of that business, because my shows, you've probably seen The Real World, Making the Band, Extreme Makeover Home Edition, The Simple Life, Growing Up Gotti, Counting Cars. I've made tons of hit TV shows, and it's time to step this up in golf media. Now, the over-the-top Miracle Swing to date has already sold over $130,000. I don't think that's anything to sneeze at, but we've only scratched the surface. Again, this is organic traffic from people who've seen my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and Twitter. But it's time for us to take all this to the next level. Here's a look at some of our brands here. We've got like the Miracle Swing OTT checklist. This is an awesome booklet that has every page has a QR code that takes you to a video lesson. So we have a physical product. Let's go through some of the products here that we already have available that we've created. Over the top Miracle Swing. I have Miracle Drive. I have Miracle Health. I need to update Miracle Drive, but both of those other video programs have sold in the tens of thousands so far, and we're going to make them world class. I teach Miracle Swing experiences. This is us in Sedona, Arizona. It was an amazing event. Now, people like Martin Chuck and Jim McLean, they make millions of dollars a year off of their golf teaching school. So this is something we're going to be incorporating as well. Now, this is a look at some of our branding on our shirts, t-shirts, and hats. This is only the beginning. I'm proud to wear this Miracle Swing shirt. It's something that we worked 4 months on the branding. We wanted to have world-class branding when we launched this new company. Next slide, please. Okay, this is a big part of our company. I've got several people that have reached out to me that want to be Miracle Swing instructors. So this is something that's pretty incredible. I'm going to be certifying instructors, and one of our consultants, Mr. Matt Fisher, he has certified over 1,000 instructors in his system. If we certify 100 instructors, that's $500,000. But what's even better is we'll have 100 ambassadors teaching the Miracle Swing around the world. Okay, now I'd like to introduce my wonderful team. We have Gabriel Ryder and Greg Ryder. Now, I want to tell you guys a little story before they come on board. This is really, really important to hear. I had been making my videos, and I built a nice 6-figure business, and I was doing great, and that's wonderful. But Gabe's the person that discovered George Gankis, Kelvin Miyahira, Adam Porzak. And he came to me after I told him about the Miracle Swing, and he checked it out. And he said, Christo, I think you're sitting on the biggest golf instruction brand in the world because of the polarization and because of the results that it gets. The testimonials I have are unmatched in the world of golf. And Greg Ryder is his father. Greg is one of the greatest internet marketers in the world. I've been to Vegas with him. I've been to the PGA show with him. I'm blown away. I've got people like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank coming up to me, telling me, I've been working with Greg for years and years. I mean, my head has been spinning since I met Greg Ryder. He is the CEO of LaunchCart, and he is the president of Celebrity Lifestyle Brands. And they're the ones that came to me and said, let us scale your business into the multi-millions. So at this point, I'd love for you guys to come on board and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Hey, Christo, maybe I'll start first. I got me and my.
I'll let you go, Gabe, and then you can pass it off to me.
Okay, I will.
Nice hat.
Hello, everybody. I want to say thank you to everyone who's joining us tonight. This is really cool. This is actually a vision that I had for Christo maybe a year and a half ago. For those who don't know, I used to have the #1 golf YouTube channel in the United States for about 6 to 7 years. Used to be a golf instructor, teach down at Phoenix at a resort called Legacy. So I used to be a golf instructor. I'm the one who launched George Gankis membership site, YouTube channel, and a couple other big instructors. So I'm pretty good at spotting up and coming instructors, movements, trends, etc. And when Crystal first told me about the over-the-top Miracle Swing before it was really public, from a marketer's background, like Crystal's already mentioned, the idea that it was polarizing, right? Because in marketing, right, whether it's a Donald Trump, an Andrew Tate, doesn't matter who you follow, great marketing always has to be polarizing. And that's what creates great story, and that's what creates movements. So when he was telling me that he's telling people to swing over the top, from a marketer's perspective, you're telling everybody to do the opposite of what everyone else is telling you to do, and what they're saying is bad, is genius marketing. And it's not only that Crystal's telling people to swing over the top, it's based off the original champions golf swing. It's based off the legends, Jackie Burke, Arnold Palmer, Sam Snead. Because I used to be a golf instructor, what Crystal was explaining to me made a lot of sense. And from another marketing background, the keyword over the top is a very highly searched keyword, right? So everyone's typing in over the top fix, over the top swing drills, over the top, slice. So the way we can capture those keywords in that traffic and have a polarizing message allows us to really stand out, which is really, really hard to do in any industry. So, I brought this vision to Christo, and, it connected with him. We created this branding. We created, great products, filmed over at the Grand Del Mar, Texas, Sedona. And so we've done our part. The funnels are built, the products are done, the branding is great. The story is there, the movement's there, the proof of concept's already done. This is already sold very well. And so we're just at a stage now where we're looking to really scale this and take this to the masses. And Christo's here. He's great at what he does. I'm great at what I do. And where this really ties together is my father. And my father is the one who got me started in golf marketing and golf YouTube, and is the one who built George Gankis's, first funnel for launching his membership site. So I'm going to kind of tee up my father to come in right now to talk about the online, the buying, the advertisement, the funnels, and scaling the products at mass. So Pops, can you hop on and introduce yourself?
I am. Hey, thank you guys. And thank you guys for coming here. And before I kind of jump into a few slides that I put together, can you guys give me an idea in the chat box underneath the video, wherever you're at? Tell me, how long have you known Christo? Like, when did you meet Christo? How long have you known the Miracle Swing? It's interesting to me to kind of find out, to know that out. And I do want to kind of reiterate something Gabe just said. As a digital marketer, and I do appreciate Christo's comments. I do believe I'm one of the top digital marketers in the world, and I'll go toe to toe with anybody. And I'm going to show you some stuff here to kind of substantiate that a little bit. But the bottom line is when you have a great product with great branding that gets results. And so the main thing is get results. And so when Gabe shared this with me and they went through the rebranding exercise and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, well, I want to see the results. What are we getting results? And I'm going to share my screen real quick. And here it comes. Boom, boom. Let's see. Boom. So it's coming up. There we go. So on the sales page on the website, there's just testimonies after testimonies after testimonies after testimonies after testimonies that Christo has from the people that he's taught the Miracle Swing to. Videos after videos after videos after videos after videos. And then when I saw the video of him talking to Jack Nicklaus, and I'm like, he's got Jack Nicklaus going, yeah, that's the way I used to swing. I don't know why they changed it. I'm like, okay, there's a gold mine here. So what I want to do is I'm going to kind of lay a little bit of a foundation. Then I'm going to show you some social proof of what I've done. And then I'm going to show you some simulated stuff and some numbers of what's possible. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is let me go to the slideshow right here. And I'm going to go slideshow and we'll go full screen. So when we talk about digital marketing, and Christo did allude to this a little bit earlier, he said that there is no cost of goods. We're selling something that's already been created. We've already invested money to create it. Now we're selling digital content. And so I want to show you kind of what's possible. And I'm one of these guys that believes whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. And I've been coaching and mentoring and teaching entrepreneurs for well over 15 years, well over thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs all over the globe. I've taught marketing all over the globe. And I want to kind of give you an idea of what's possible. So these are some screenshots of some actual screenshots of money that I've spent running ads and doing advertisement and spending money. And this particular one shows how we spent $1,559,000 to drive 2,500,000 clicks to a website and generate 121 million impressions. Okay, that resulted in over $9 million in sales, 208,000 orders at an average order of $44 a piece. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know very many people that have collected over 208,000 credit cards on the internet. It's something that you do and you learn. And we've done this multiple times. This is a screenshot from these are e-commerce stores where we actually had products that we were shipping. Here's one where we started selling in the end of December, the beginning of January. And because we were selling stuff that was being drop shipped from China, we had to shut things down late January. We did over $3.39 million off over 2 million visitors in literally a month, a little bit of a month. Here's another screenshot from another store that we launched December 17th. And we started putting the advertising spin behind it. We buying traffic, converting traffic, drove over 1.1 million customers to the website, generating over $2.18 million in a couple months. And this is something we did over and over and over and over again. Now, in our early stages of testing the Miracle Swing, we've done a few things, and I want you to keep note of this, right, real quick. So here's a screenshot from our dashboard that reports our revenues of what we've done with Christo so far. So this screenshot shows we drove 10,000 visitors. Now this is mostly organic traffic, not really any paid media. And we had a 1.22% conversion rate. That's a low conversion rate. It's on the lower end of the scale. But keep in mind, I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. 1.2% conversion rate that drove 29,000 revenues. Okay. Then we did another campaign as we started optimizing things. We started building things up. We did another campaign, which was a much smaller campaign that we tracked. We drove 1,438 visitors that I'm showing up here in the upper left. And we drove 98 orders, and that was a 6.82% conversion. And I'm one of these guys that kind of believes you have to track it, and then optimize, track and optimize, track and optimize. Everything is about split testing headlines, split testing colors, split testing buttons, split testing price points, and then having a customer journey to increase conversions as we're going through this, right? So I want to kind of show you some real proof of what we've already done, and this is where it gets exciting. So watch this. So I have this software, and I'm going to go ahead and click and take you to the software real quick. I have this software tool that we use in the digital marketing world, and it's a simulation technology where we're going to simulate traffic. And so this is just a real simple simulation I put together where we're going to buy traffic on Facebook, and we're going to buy 6,000 visitors a month. Now we know the industry average of buying traffic on Facebook is $1.68 a person. Okay, that's $1.68. So we're going to spend money. We're going to give Facebook and Instagram money, buy traffic, and it's going to cost us $1.68. Okay, and then we're going to close it out. And then our product that we're going to sell is the Miracle Swing Golf 7 Steps, and we're selling it at $247. Okay, now we have sold this even higher than that, but that's a good average price of what we can sell this at. And I put in here that we're going to convert 1.2%, which is what we actually have done. Okay. So then it just goes to the checkout page and they check out. Now over here on the right, I'm going to click simulate. And now it's going to simulate. We're buying that traffic. We're buying 6,000 clicks at $1.68, which is, now if you can see over here on the right-hand side, we're basically spending $10,080 on advertising. And if we spend $10,000.80 on advertising, we're going to have merchant fees of $544. We're going to have refunds of $544. And we're going to have expenses of $11,165. Based on us converting 1.2%, that gives us a cost, what's called a CPA, customer average cost, what it costs us to acquire a customer at $138. Our average order value is $247. Our ROAS is 1.79, and we made $6,865. Now, you can imagine how cool that is, and I have some reports over here where we can kind of look at all this kind of traffic of what we spend, how we do that, and just imagine we're spending $10,000 a month to make $18,000 a month. That equates to $216,000 a year. That's pretty cool. So let's take this to a different level here. Let's say instead of spending $10,000 a month, we spend $10,000 a week. So what I do is I go up here to my simulation. I'll go in here and I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to say instead of 6,000 clicks, we're going to 4 times that to 24,000 clicks. So 6 times 4 is 20. So now we're going to buy 24,000 clicks, and now we're going to hit simulate. And now it's going to help me simulate, and it's going to show me over here that now we made a profit of 27,000. So we spent 44,000 to make a profit of 27,000 and generating $72,000 in revenue. Okay. This is how we scale businesses. We track and we optimize, and we then add upsells and downsells. Plus we have a list, plus we're building more brand recognition. Plus we're doing everything we need to scale this business. But this is the kind of stuff that we look at and we scale. So now let me show you this. Remember how I showed you in the previous slide, the first bigger campaign, we converted at 1.2%. And I showed you the second campaign where we converted at 6.8%. Let's look at the numbers at 6.8%. Okay. So I'll go back to full screen here. And I'm going to go to scenario 2. And scenario 2 is where instead of converting at 1.2%, we're converting at 6.8%. So we're going to come back here and we're going to say, and again, we're only spending $10,000 with this first scenario, and we're going to convert at 6%. So I hit simulate. Now we're spending $10,000 and we're generating $88,000, and we're having a profit of $73,000. This is why I love digital marketing. No cost of goods, no shipping costs, no manufacturing costs, no supply chain issues. We're selling a digital product that's getting results that people love, that people rave about, and we have no cost of goods. And the only cost of goods is our 3% merchant fees we pay MasterCard and American Express and Discover, and then our advertising costs. So literally, if we're selling it for $247, if we spent $247 to get a customer, we break even. But even at breaking even, we're bringing customers in, and then we sell them Miracle Health, we sell them Miracle Drive, we sell them a Miracle Experience, we sell them something else, we sell them a hat, we sell them a shirt, we sell them other stuff. There's a million ways to monetize our customers as we build up this database. But let's go do one more simulation real quick to get really exciting. So again, that's $10,000 a month ad spend. If we get to where we can keep up a 6.8% conversion, which that's on the high end. I will admit that's on the high end, but we did accomplish it, and I think we could accomplish it again. But what if we said, okay, now we're going to say let's spend that every week. So we're going to go to 24,000 clicks a month, and we hit save, and we hit close, and we hit simulate, and now we're spending 40,000 a month in ad spend. We've got some refunds of $10,000 a month that kind of add up. And then we've got some merchant fees, but we still make $290,000. And then you go look at your reports, and you can look at these reports, and you can follow this stuff through, and you can just make it. It's really interesting what you can do. And then what we haven't really talked about is we do have our membership site, which currently is $23.50 a month. And in this forecast, there is no membership site, right? So if I go back here, and again, believe me, I have folders and folders and folders of these funnels and simulations that we've put together. And let me show you. So MSD Golf, and again, we had the Hogan code. That we have different products that we've created. We can simulate different funnels, and we have the Jack Dagger book. But needless to say, this is what digital marketers do. Digital marketers build funnels, build sales pages. We track, and we put tracking code, and we track and optimize everything. Okay. So with that being said, I want to kind of roll into what the offer is tonight, and then we'll open it up for questions and answers. So let me go back to this PowerPoint real quick. Oops. And what were the opportunity. So basically, we're in a situation where we're allowing investors to participate with us, and we're going to sell 10% of Miracle Swing LLC. So let me go back to right here. Boom. So the opportunity is we're raising 500,000, which we've already raised 50,000. So there's 450,000 left. We're selling 50 $10,000 membership units in the limited liability company, which represents 10% ownership. Okay. What we're doing with this investment opportunity is we're going to take 20% of the net operating income, and we're going to distribute that to the investors on a quarterly basis starting the end of June. So we're kind of at the end of March right now. Raise this capital, get some capital in, start running ads. And at the end of June, we'll do a distribution. So we'll do quarterly distributions of the net operating income. And the net operating income is defined as our gross revenue minus the merchant fees, the returns, and the ad spend. So once we take out, let's say we do $100,000 and we spent $60,000 on ads, and we had 3% merchant fees, that's another $3,000, and we had 3,000 returns. We're going to deduct that from that, and that's the net operating income. We're going to take 20% of that and dividend it back to the investor, until you recoup 100% of your investment. So the intention is you get your money back from cash flow immediately until you get paid back. 20% of those revenues are going to go to you on a quarterly basis until you get your money back. Then after that, you're still left with your ownership, and then we'll generate and distribute profits on an annual basis based on your ownership and your prorated share of ownership. So that was the next slide. So the idea is we want you to get your return of investment. So how are you going to get your money back, and then what your return on investment is. And where we all believe is this could be one of the top selling products in the world globally, because it's digital, it can be handled. Crystal's going to do his magic, and he's going to train and charge people and charge people to train them to teach this, and have little instructors all over. You're going to participate in that revenue. We're going to do Miracle Swing experiences at some of the coolest golf clubs and country clubs in the country, and you guys can join in that as well. And the idea is all this revenue builds an asset and a business that you will then own your percentage of. So the idea is we want you to help us get the capital to put the advertising spend to scale the business, and to bring, we need to bring on a few more team members to build funnels and optimize funnels and the right email copy, but it's a very minimal team. And once we get that team up, we can put the pedal to the metal on the advertising spend and then help generate significant cash flow for everybody involved. So with that, I want to go ahead and open up for questions, and let's bring the guys back. And do you guys got any things you want to add to what I say? Did I cover it all?
Yeah, I would like just to add that we started working on this on my birthday last year, and this Monday is my 55th birthday, I'm happy to say. So we have really worked our butts off to get here, but we're on the 2-yard line, first and goal. I've been doing this for a long time. We are ready to scale this to the high heavens. I've seen other companies do it. I've worked with those companies, and now it's time to do it for my own company. And I would just love for all you guys to join Greg, Gabe, and myself in changing the world of golf. We really have the ability to do this. I've done a pretty good job so far, but to think that I've been able to do this all by myself without professional marketers and experts like Gabe and Greg, it's incredible. So all we have to do is just take this football and charge across that finish line. I think that we're definitely going to be making a touchdown. So I'm excited as heck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to say something. See if that link is working in the sidebar, Pops. I'm not sure if it doesn't seem to be hyperlinking.
Well, you can't click it from our chat box, but they can click it on their side.
Okay. Stuart says, do you need to be an accredited investor?
So that's a really good question. We're doing this under Reg D 504, which means we can have 35 non-accredited or 35 non-accredited investors and unlimited accredited investors. So we do have limited spots, but the minimum investment being 10,000, we want to make sure it works for your portfolio. We want you to understand, hey, things can happen. You know, who knows what? There's always a risk that you lose your money where there's no promises, no guarantees. But I like to talk about the risk reducers. And the risk reducers are social proof, a YouTube channel with tons of subscribers, lots of impressions, a product, proof of concept, proof of sales, people getting results. You know, Greg Ryder's a risk reducer, Gabriel's a risk reducer, Christo's a risk reducer. So there's these different things that you start to look at my risk and my return. And we really believe that this could be a significant return for you, but there is risks involved, but we think we got a big home run. And again, you start doing the math. If we can just sell 100,000 of these in the next 3 years or 2 years at $200 a pop, you can just do 100,000 times $200. That's a lot of money, right? And 97% profit margin. So you think that through, and it could be good distributions and good profit rates for everybody. I did want to share one thing. Gabe shared the link. He shared the link, and it's going to take you to a page like this. All we're asking right now is if you're interested in this investment opportunity, go, yeah, I'm interested. I have some more questions, or I want to see the documents, or I want to talk to you. You're going to go to this link, and it's just an indication of interest form that kind of talks about, the basic structure. And then you just enter your name, your primary email, your mobile phone, and then how much you're interested in investing. And then we'll take this on a first come, first serve basis. So if somebody says, hey, I want 300,000, I want 100,000, I want 50,000, we're going to take that. So fill out that form, get your indication of interest in, and we want to get this offering closed as fast as possible and start moving this chain forward. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. So David says, here's a good question. So what percentage do you own for the $10,000? So if we're selling 10% interest in the company for 500,000, we're valuing the company and the intellectual property and all the assets that are in part of this corporation of the Miracle Swing, Over the Top, and all the stuff that Christo's created. We're valuing us at $5 million. So our valuation is $5 million. So you're getting 0.2% equity in Miracle Swing. And there's a typo on that page. So it's 0.2%, David.
This is a good question, Pops, and you probably have the best response. But how much runway does 500K give you?
We never look back. And again, there's always the chance that that's not the case. But as the digital marketing guy and the marketing guy that understands this, if I can get Christo the freedom to do what he does best, and that's create content and network and get in with Gary Player and get in with these different golfers and go do some filming and get him out to the Masters. Like if we had the capital and we were cash flowing 50 or 100 grand a month, I'd be booking tickets for him to go to the Masters right now, right? Filming content, meeting people. He's got to be at those places. And because our cost of goods is not existent with most of these product lines, we feel that we can convert traffic and make a profit. And again, you saw my screenshots. It's like people used to say to me, why would you advertise and spend $100,000 a day on advertising? And I say, well, because I was generating $300,000 a day in revenue, right? So once we get this all dialed in and we have the team and the customer support and that kind of stuff, and we're spinning these dials, imagine if we spent $100,000 a day to advertise, and let's say we only brought in $105,000 back, and we're making $5,000 profit a day. You multiply that by 30 days, that's $150,000 a month profit. That's not bad. But I can tell you one thing, if I spend $100,000 a day advertising this product and advertising Cristo Garcia, his YouTube channel next year will generate 10 times what it's generating now. His Instagram, his Twitter following, he'll go up by millions of followers, and everything exponentially does everything. I have a quick little story I'll tell you guys. I talk to people before they're at Cristo's length all the time. I go, hey, you got talent. You got what it takes. You can be that online influencer. If you give me $200,000, let me spend $1,000 a day for 200 days on your brand, you'll make $2 million next year just off the following you gain from that $200,000 invested in getting your following going. And Cristo's got his whole following organically. We can go buy more golfers. We could blow up his YouTube channel with advertising dollars. So to answer your question, 500,000, we never look back. We start cash flowing, we start that thing going, and we have other things in the work that are going to generate a lot of revenue for this company. I think there's $1 million a year just in Miracle Swing experiences.
Yeah, and I just want to say something too, for those who are listening, we still got quite a bit of viewers. Me and Cristo are friends. We made some golf YouTube videos together 8 or 9 years ago. So I think all the people that are on this call who receive these emails have seen Cristo's journey. And one of the reasons I wanted to work with Cristo, because I trust Cristo as a person and the character. And for anybody that's seen him show up online and the discoveries that he's made in the game of golf and the transformations he's made in his own game, it's and the same thing with George. Is everyone needs a team. It's like Cristo's a genius at what he does when it comes to writing, producing, and directing his own golf content. It's amazing. And that's what we kind of shared in some of those slides where no one else is doing that. Gankus isn't doing that. Performance Golf isn't doing that. Milo Lines. So it's a really big strength that we have. And then I came in and did my part with the branding and helped putting the system together with the 7 sacred steps. And now my dad's coming in to scale it. And that's all it is. It's just a team of competent people. I've been doing this for 14 years on the online golf space. Cristo's been writing and producing for the last 30 plus years. My dad's in his 60s, been doing this for internet marketing for 20 plus years. So we're just all in a good place and a great place to scale this. Everything's already been done. The story's already put in place. We believe in the method, the results it gets, and we're just going to take it to more people. It's really that simple.
One thing I wanted to add is I've been so blessed up until this point to be able to be with folks like Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player, but on deck, I have connections to interview Ben Crenshaw, to interview Hal Sutton, to interview Steve Elkington. I talk to Elk all the time. It's like the shows that I'm going to be able to produce, and nobody's going to be able to do it. And the thing that's so special about it is we're preserving the history of golf itself. This swing technique has been thrown in the garbage by all modern instructors. And all these old timers, these major champions that I'm mentioning, they'll tell you this is the way to swing. It's better on your body. It's easier. It gets the best results. And I just think that we're going to nail it. As soon as more people start to hear the message, it's just going to explode.
Yeah, no, and I saw that question about what kind of returns would be expected on our $10,000 investment. So we plan on doing quarterly distributions of that net operating income. So at the end of each quarter, we'll calculate, what the gross revenue was, minus the ad spend, minus the refunds, minus the merchant fees, and then take 20% of those profits and then distribute them back to you to get your money back. Based on that 1.2% conversion, with a $40,000 a month ad spend, we would generate about 30 grand a month in profits just off that one product. And so if you $30,000 a month, that would be $6,000 distributed out to people. So we can kind of do the math and back into that. And we could talk individually about that, what that would look like. But here's the one thing I love about golf. In some industries, when I try to scale, I can't scale past a certain amount because the audience is not big enough. In golf, I could easily spend $100,000 a day. I could spend $1 million. You go back to performance golf and companies like that, they're spending $100,000 a day. That's how they're doing $100 million a year in revenues, right? So in golf, the audience and the 25 million golfers, US, and 66 million golfers globally, our audience is huge. So we can scale this to where, hey, if we have the 500,000, we start spending, not 40,000 a month, but 200,000 a month. Boom. Now, you're just getting the cash flow back sooner and better, but we're not going to go reckless. We're not going to go crazy. We're not going to put ourselves where we lose a bunch of money. We got to start, you scale slowly, you scale up slowly, you keep dialing in, you keep optimizing, you keep scaling, you add other products to the mix, start increasing the revenues. But I think it's reasonable to assume that in your first year, you could probably get distributions of 25% back on your money, if not 50% back on your money, which would literally be a 50% return on your money if we did 50%, at 25% if you did 25%. And then you still have the equity, going forward. So that's kind of what we're looking at, is giving you guys, double-digit returns on your money, and then having that equity upside for when we either go do an exit or go public or just keep spitting out cash flow for years and years and years and years to come.
Could you talk about an exit strategy, Greg? Say it's 5 years from now, I've created an entire golf media company with tons of professionally created television shows, what our exit could look like?
Yeah, in something like this, here's what's great about it. One is it's golf. So the EBITDA and digital marketing, our EBITDA is higher, our margins are higher. So therefore our multiples at exit are higher. So if we were to exit this company, we're going to be getting 4 times, 6 times EBITDA easily in a product like this. And as we start to implement our membership site and we add continuity, meaning monthly fees, and we start adding 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people paying us $10 a month, $20 a month, $30 a month to be part of the community. Now we're getting upwards of 12 to 15 times EBITDA if we were just to sell the company outright. And I know there's all kinds of proof points. You've told me about it. This company sold for 65 million. This company sold for this. And, you've shared some of those companies with me. So there's all kinds of potential with that. But really, it just wants to, I look at it going, it might just be that cash cow you hold on to as long as you can, right? Just because he's spitting out cash. And what's interesting about this, do you think the over-the-top method is going to be outdated in 2 years? 4 years?
I don't think it'll ever go away. I think it could become the dominant swing theory in golf.
There you go. There you go. So when you have something like that and you start getting trained, you have the train the trainer program, you have people all over the world training this, and then they're all pointing back to the course, it could be pretty significant.
Oh, by the way, one of the gentlemen asked, if you invest, do you get the course? Of course. You not only get the course, you can come to a Miracle Swing experience. I will be your personal golf instructor for life. Anytime you want to come on out, I would love to help you play the best golf of your life.
No, there is some fringe benefits. We've been talking about doing them. What was that place you found where you rent the whole place and you can sit there and you play golf? You have your own golf course and your own big
Honey Pond. We want to do an experience at Honey Pond where we have a whole golf course and a house that sleeps 17 people, and just do like a Masters week or US Open week, and we can play golf all day. We've all got our own golf carts and it's our own golf course. That'd be totally, totally cool.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's see if you have any other questions. We've been on here for about an hour, and we know your time is valuable.
Stephen Miller, who's one of our investors, asked about will investors see the numbers quarterly?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, quarterly distributions and quarterly reports.
So Stephen, we got all the funnels ready. That's what we were working on for the last few months. this baby's ready to go. It's like we just start rolling out the ads and we start pushing it forward. But now that all the funnels are in place, we had to build those after creating the products and the branding. But we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and Stuart asked a really good question. Thank you for asking this because I meant to bring it up. He says, are you set up to receive funds from a self-directed IRA? Yeah, we can receive funds from a self-directed IRA. So depending on what self-directed IRA you work with, I've worked with many of them over the years. We can definitely figure that out and get the proper paperwork filed with them. And then they just direct the investment right into Miracle Swings bank account. That's a great question. And it's a great way to put some of your money to work that's sitting there in an IRA that's not really, giving you the growth, and you get a lot of benefits to that.
Well, wonderful. I'm so excited. We've been on an hour. Guys, if you have any more questions, please throw them at us. But I want to say that I'm honored. I feel that I was blessed by God somehow to go on this journey. I was a frustrated golfer. I was embarrassed and ashamed of the way I played golf. And I took my 9-year-old daughter to play 9 holes last week, the first time ever, last Thursday. And God bless her. She had never played 9 holes with me. She made 2 double bogeys, which I was so impressed. And she's doing the over the top swing. She'd never played golf with me before. And one of the things that, was incredible was I was able to shoot a 35 with my daughter. And she's just like, how do you do that? I'm like, there's a way, there's a technique, and it's not that hard. But for my whole life, I didn't understand how to swing the club. And I really believe I've got it figured out. I've got PGA Tour players there. I'm talking to them on the phone about it. It's the craziest experience ever. And I'd love to invite you guys to join me on this incredible journey, because we're going to change millions of golfers' lives around the world.
Now, and somebody asked earlier about why don't you just go to the bank and get a loan? And we don't have, banks are not loaning against a digital asset like this. They don't, it's not like real estate where you can go get a loan against it. They don't think of it as collateral. And then I also am a big believer of what I refer to as crowdfunding or getting the little guy in. I was born into a wealthy family, and my parents got divorced when I was 2, and I had the Rich Dad, Poor Dad story. So if you've ever read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I lived with my mom and visited my rich dad, and my rich dad was in the Good Old Boy Network, and that whole term, the rich get richer, I saw it, I watched it, I participated in it. And so when crowdfunding came out and these laws changed that, allowed people to get involved in these offerings, my goal is to allow the little guy the chance to get into something that could, change their life and change their, they could be a part of something that you normally couldn't be a part of. So that is, and the bottom line is it's Christos is the majority shareholder. It's his company. We're here to support him, and we want to help him grow and succeed. And we have our little equity piece as well. And so we're here working and doing the sweat equity thing and giving our time and expertise to make this happen so we can reap the rewards down the road as well.
One thing I just want to add, having won a Best Director award at an international film festival, I want to make a movie about the Miracle Swing. And I think that asset alone would do so much to explode the brand worldwide. But actually, the movie itself could be worth millions and millions of dollars. And that's something that I've done. It's like I know how to do that. It's like building a coffee table.
So real quick, before we go, let us know if you're in. Just go ahead and put a comment in going, I'm in, count me in. And we'll see if we got some people that I'm trying to figure out how to see these forms on the back end, Gabe. I can't remember how to do it. The indication of interest forms.
I'd also like to invite everybody, if you have a genuine interest in this, give me a call. If you'd like to hear more about the deep dive, everything that I have planned, like an hour is not even nearly enough time to explain all the things that we have planned. And off of this one hero product, we're going to be able to build an ecosystem with so many revenue streams. It's really pretty mind-boggling. And at this point, we just need a push over the top of the hill, and it's going to be snowballing the rest of the way.
Yeah. So what we'll do is, I see the forms. I found the forms. I see David and Daniel and Stuart and Eric and Greg.
Right
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
David, it's an honor. This is really, really exciting. this is springtime, and I'm telling you, if we can get this going by the Masters, it's going to blow up. I just really think that people are going to be so hungry by the time the Masters comes around. We hit them with the whole ad spend. By the way, I just got hired to design a viral marketing campaign for Squares golf shoes. If you watch the golf this weekend, either PGA or the LPGA, you saw the commercials that I wrote, produced, directed, and edited. So why am I doing this for Squares when I could do this for Miracle Swing? All I need is a little runway to be able to create viral marketing campaigns. People will see our commercials and they are going to stand out. And it's just so funny. I mean, it's time to take everything that I've learned working for these other companies like Swing Caddy, Ben Hogan. I sold $2 million worth of Ben Hogan golf clubs. Time to do it for the Miracle Swing. So that's a great thing that I have in my back pocket that no other golf influencer has the ability to do.
And this replay, the same link that you registered for with this will work if you want to come back and watch this again. And then we'll be emailing everybody Christo's phone number. And then, of course, if you want to talk to me more on the financial side, I'm the financial guy. I'm a former investment banker. I used to own an investment bank. I've taken dozens of companies public, been involved in dozens of mergers and acquisitions. And so that's my role as the chief marketing officer, as well as, the investment side of things. So the goal is to get the capital to really free Christo up to continue to what I tell people, if it's not your genius, it's not your job. And so we need to get Christo in his genius. And he's an amazing networker. He's got amazing charisma. People trust him. People love him. And we need to get him making more and more film and out there teaching and coaching his system so this legacy can be out there. Can you imagine if we had 100 other people like Christo teaching the Miracle Swing at different places across the country, across the world? It would be significant. So I want to say thanks to everybody. I don't see any more questions coming in. I think we got everybody. Last call for questions. And then Michael did ask, hey, can we start with 10,000? And if there's units still available, can we invest more? Absolutely. Our goal is to close it out as soon as possible. But absolutely, if the offering hasn't closed and you've got some more money coming up, we obviously talk to you about that and try to accommodate your needs. So that's all I have to say. I want to say thank you. I appreciate everybody. Last words from you guys, and we'll wrap it up.
I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has been a journey that I never could have imagined. And it means the world to me that you folks have been in this room with the three of us tonight. And thank you for helping me make my dreams come true to this point. And I would just like to change the lives of millions of golfers around the world. So thank you.
Yeah, and thank you to Christo for joining me on this vision and committing to this. We're committed. We're not stopping. So we're going to go until this succeeds. And it's just a matter of time. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for your time. And we look forward to seeing you more soon.
Thanks, everybody.
God bless you.